Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, it's WICR.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey, Joe Archino, and Big Shot Rob. And Rob just kind of danced his way back into the booth. And Rob, you got some killer moves out there, man. You been practicing?
I got the moves like Jagger.
See, that's...
I'm getting ready for formal. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The thing I like about the Sports Vault, Rob, and why I think it sets itself apart from everyone else is we've been doing this thing a long time. 6 out of our basically 7 semesters, we've been right in here doing the show. And we can track the development of Robert Buncardo. Now, I think when I look at your moves today compared to when we started the show, you've grown exponentially, Rob. So you should deserve a round of applause for that.
Thank you.
Smooth move, Robert Buncardo. Although I think we'll stick with Big Shot Rob because you can't beat that nickname. You just can't. But, Rob, we're going to get into May the 4th be with you. We know you are very strong with the Force. If you go on our WICR Instagram page, you will see one of the first pictures we posted was Rob Buncardo playing a game at the New Rock Arcade. I think, what was the game called, Rob?
I forget the name of it, but it's a Star Wars game.
It's a great game.
When I go there, I have to sit there for an hour and beat it.
And well, you have to bring balance back to the galaxy.
I try my best. I never win.
Rob, you win in here, in heart, and that's what matters because you give it effort. And that's what we're all about on this show is effort, the Force, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. But, Rob, I think when you look at Star Wars, it's obviously a good time if you like the series because it's relevant again. There's physical content, it's fresh, it's new, all the things are out there. So when you have May the 4th be with you, which will, of course, be tomorrow on Wednesday, May 4th, but I think when you look at it, it means a little bit more when the movie just came out because all the previous ones, you didn't really have anything new, anything fresh to kind of keep you motivated. But there's physical stuff there. There's more on the way. It makes it for a good time.
Well, you see, Joe, May the 4th be with you is actually important for me tomorrow because I have my accounting final. So the 4th,
Ooh.
Well, feel the Force while I'm taking that test. I'm going to be like, Anakin, help me.
Anakin, Rob, do you remember what happens to Anakin? Don't go down that path, Rob. You know I'll be down there trying to save you, but don't go down that path. I don't want to have to go down to a volcano planet trying to save you.
He's the only cool character that wore a mask because Kylo Ren has to be the worst character added to the Star Wars
All right,
world.
let me ask you this, Rob. In The Force Awakens, before Kylo Ren took his mask off, what did you think of him?
Oh, I thought he was decent. I didn't like the mask though. You
don't like the mask.
I'm not crazy about the outfit either. I'm like, what are you, a wizard or something?
See, that's Kylo Ren the Wizard. I like that. See, for me, where my disappointment came is, and it's difficult because when you see a movie for the first time and you kind of know what a character is, but you haven't seen them take the helmet off yet, you kind of in your own mind envision what the character looks like, and then when they take the helmet off and if it doesn't look like what you thought it would, you're disappointed. And that's not really fair because there's not much you can do about it, what the director can do about it. But I don't know, just when Kylo Ren, and I love Kylo Ren, he's one of my favorite characters. I don't know, just when it's not what I envisioned, and I was a little disappointed in the way that he looked with his mask off. I don't know. It's just a personal thing.
Yeah, I thought he was more of like a little coward. It's like when he kills Han Solo in the movie. Yes, people, I just ruined the movie if you didn't see it.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Rob.
Spoiler
Jeez,
alert.
I mean, come on.
When he kills Han Solo, though, it's like, I want the pain to go away. All right, kid, just stab your father. Do you really have to cry about it? Like, the kid had no emotions for his father, and all of a sudden in that moment, yes, Daddy, I have emotions. Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
He was terrible. He on it, and he got to. He not only did he fight Rey, he got crushed by her, and he has to be missing a body part because when I watched the fight the other day, I saw something go flying off. I think it was his hand.
Rob, I'm gonna call you out for something here. All right, you comfortable with me doing that?
Yeah.
All right, people. So if you don't know Robert Buncardo, you should. But Rob, you purchased a separate movie instead of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, I want you to tell the audience what that movie was that you personally had a voluntary, you had a good, reasonable actions, control over yourself, and you purchased this movie over Star Wars The Force Awakens.
I bought The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which is a great movie for a lot of couples if you want to watch it on a Friday night, have a nice dinner, have a nice glass of wine.
Rob, I don't know. I've never really could say I've been disappointed, and I'm still not disappointed. That's not the wrong word. I'd say more I'm looking for answers. Just why? Why Benjamin Button over Star Wars, Rob? Why?
Because Brad Pitt in that movie was amazing. And when you look at that movie, it's amazing. All right, I'm going to be honest right now. I'm a guy who loves love movies for some reason.
There's nothing wrong with that, Rob.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
My collection, you've seen it.
I have
Ian's
seen it.
it.
It is.
I do have a lot of love
It's quite
movies.
impressive.
I don't know. I just, I mean, for Star Wars, the new one, if I wanted to watch it, I could just watch Star Wars: A New Hope. Kind of the same concept.
Well, that is true. I mean, honestly, if you do look at The Force Awakens, it's A New Hope with a couple different changes. It's the same exact concept in storyline. But, Rob, that's like going, and let's use a sports comparison since this is the sports fault, but it's okay. It's whenever you're talking about Star Wars, it's okay to get sidetracked. Rob, that's like going from Kyrie Irving to Jeremy Lin as your starting point guard. And that's like voluntarily, no, I'm not going to take Kyrie Irving as my starting point guard. I'm going to take Jeremy Lin. Rob, why did you take Jeremy Lin? Kyrie Irving is so much better.
Because you're talking like Curious Case right now, Benjamin Button, right?
Oh, of course.
Oh, I had to choose it. It's just a movie. I remember when I saw it when it first came out with my parents, and I loved it. And I have to say, for some reason this year, I was like, oh, I haven't seen it in a while. Netflix doesn't carry it. If I want to watch it on Prime, I got to pay for it. So I was looking. I must have gone to Target, in Yonkers, Best Buy. And, of course, Rob mislooked as usual, as my father would say. I always miss out on the things right in front of me.
I am too, so it's okay. That's why we've been co-hosts for so long, is because we both have that same weakness.
And what happens? The Curious Case of Benjamin Button is right in front of my face in Target in Mount Vernon. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, Mom and Dad, I found the movie of the lifetime. I'm going to watch it on Friday night. And we watched it a couple months back. It was a great movie.
Now, is this movie enhanced by snacks of some kind, or can you just purely enjoy this movie without any other substances?
I think you just enjoy this movie because, a lot of people will say, oh, it's weird. Boys being born as an old man, 80, 70-year-old man, and you're seeing the advance in life. But you're kind of seeing, yes, while his wife is getting older, he's getting younger. And you see the true meaning of love, which is till death do us part. That will never leave for each other. Although in the movie, Benjamin Button does leave his wife at a time when she has a child because he doesn't want his daughter seeing him age that way. But you see at the end, when Benjamin is a kid, his wife moves into the nursing home with him and takes care of him till his last breath as a baby. So I think it's a movie that everyone should watch. And, I don't know. I'm a guy who's like big on relationships, into movies like that. So it's just, I love things like that make me happy.
Look, who says we can't get deep and down into the personal stuff on the sports fault here? That was a beautiful, beautiful analysis, Big Shot Robin. I know you mentioned the name Ben. It's not Ben, who is also Kylo Ren from Star Wars, is it?
Oh, gosh. I don't even want to see Kylo Ren again. I just want him to wear that mask. I want it to be like stuck on. Don't even take it off. That hair is terrible.
You know who they should have gotten to play Kylo Ren, Rob? You want a physical, imposing structure, right? Like Darth Vader was. Mm-hmm. He was a physically imposing person. You know who they should have got to play him?
Who?
LeBron James.
No.
Think about it.
No.
Rob. LeBron could have played Bane in Batman. LeBron could have played any. He's a physical specimen. Since Will Chamberlain, there's never been someone who's at the athleticism and the physical build of a LeBron James.
Listen, I'm taking Geno Smith in this one.
Geno Smith. I like that one, Rob, though. But let's talk. Rob, the Jets for a minute.
No. Don't even mention that team. Don't even mention them.
I have to ask you one thing. Why do you draft 4 quarterbacks in the last 4 drafts?
Because we're rewriting the book. We're rewriting the books right now. You're watching history right now. You're watching some great moves in history. I opened my newspaper yesterday. I saw Hackenberg. I saw his picture. I'm like, that's a quarterback for you. He looks like a good quarterback.
He does look like a quarterback.
But the thing is, will he be a good quarterback?
Well, I don't know. What do they do? Honestly, we look at it, and I know you don't want to overpay for a guy like Fitzpatrick, but it's a position you have to overpay for in this league because the next best option is not worth it. You're going from it's like going from Star Wars to Benjamin Button. No, I'm just kidding on that one, but it really does make you kind of just question what it's all about because I don't know. I when I heard the pick, I just don't get it.
My thing, Joe, is with money. What is it like with everybody in this league that money is such a big deal? I don't like half these players. How is it you spend all that money in your lifetime? You can make $200 million and they end up spending it. So I don't understand. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick, $8 million. I would love to make $8 million. Will I ever make that in a year?
If anyone wants to donate $8 million to the show, Big Shot Rob and I are collecting. We'll put the email address in the link. We'll work that out.
We look at back in the day, Joe. Back in the day. Baseball players, how much were they making? And they were working 2 jobs. They would finish baseball season, then get another job. So I don't get what money is the big benefactor now at this time. $8 million. If you spend over $1 million in a year as a professional athlete, you got some problems. That's my opinion, hands down.
And you know what I was really surprised about? When Marshawn Lynch retired, I read somewhere he hasn't spent any of the money he's earned during his football playing career. Mm-hmm. He only lived off of his endorsement money. So that's kind of a way to do it. And we see it so much. I mean, players go broke quick because no one has any control. No one ever really knows what they're doing. But sometimes I think that the model is there to see what happens. And I think Marshawn Lynch, I was surprised, but he's a smart dude.
Yeah. Look, I'll give you another athlete. Look at Adam LaRoche. Look at him walking away from $15 million. Some people don't see it as an issue. Look at Tim Duncan. Look at Dirk Nowitzki opting out of his deal. I would have paid him $8 million next year, going for lower money. So I don't understand how all these other athletes, like Fitzpatrick, who had one great year his whole career, we saw back with the Bills. He started off 1 year 6-0. Everybody was like, oh, give him the money. He got his big contract. What happened? Honestly, what happened? That's why I'm against big money spending. Look at hockey. A good hockey player really doesn't even make more than $9 million a year. So it's weird. I mean, once in a while, you got to learn to take a pay cut if you want to win in life.
Well, it's really amazing, and that's a really good point there. It's not just in sports, it's in life. If you look at the way contracts are structured and the way that the money is paid out, I would argue that there's maybe 3 or 4 players in professional sports, all sports, who are really worth the money they command. A LeBron James, a Messi, a Ronaldo, players like that, like an Andrew Luck, players like that who have irreplaceable value are the ones worth it. But you could make a case. Well, let's look at an Albert Pujols. When he got that transcendent deal with the Angels, was he worth that?
No.
How many wins did he translate to? Robinson Cano. How many wins does he translate to? Mm-hmm. There are certain guys who you can put an irreplaceable value on, but that number is incredibly small.
Yeah, it is. I mean, LeBron James, look at him in his career. He's another one. I'll give it to him. He's taking pay cuts. He's taking major pay cuts to advance to win. And, I mean, we look at some athletes now. Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod's 40 years old, Joe. He's making $20+ million a year. Really? Really, at 40 years old. So you kind of look back, and it's like, why owners keep throwing this money like there's no tomorrow? I go back to Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner used to throw money like there was nothing because he had so much. And that's why we see in baseball why we have this problem now. Basketball is another one where the salary rose up. And we saw players getting these massive deals even now. And some of these guys, is it even really worth it? Anthony Davis, yeah, he's a great player, but is he on the court half the time? Jacoby Ellsbury in baseball, is he even on the field? It's ridiculous.
It's a very good point. And you know who is always in the station, though? That's Rob Bancardo there. And Rob Bancardo, or otherwise known as Big Shot Rob, does have irreplaceable value that you just can't measure. But Rob, we got class in a little while. I know we both want to get some Cheez-Its before class. I know we want to get a picture to put up before that happens. So we will be back on Thursday for 2 shows, the final 2 episodes of The Sports Vault. Big Shot Rob, Jersey Joe Archino. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you folks on Thursday. We're going to go have some nice Cheez-Its.